This our mommy of Lagos is always coming with one, one lies, one bass, and one goals.
She wants to do touch-ups.
Exactly. And the body is actually banging.
It's bodying.
It is actually.
Yada, 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 yada,
Are
yada,
you right?
yada.
But until we see it, before we can actually say that, okay, Bob is actually... Isn't not Bobrisky again? Isn't not Mommy of Lagos again? Until we see it, before we can... Josh is confused. Alright, Bobrisky went under the knife to get, his body done. To get the BBL done. He has been saying it for more than 3 years now, if I'm correct. That he has done it. One time was like, he has done it. Another time again, it was like, oh, his doctor actually... couldn't make it from Turkey, that is why. And that time again, like, because of his housewarming, we'd have loved to do it, but the housewarming, we've not seen the housewarming. So now, it seems like he has finally done it. Until we see Bobrisky in all his glory, before we actually believe him. Now, the first story, which is very happy.
No, I'm paying attention. We need to pass information.
All right, let's move to the first story today. Veteran Nollywood actor Iyke has opened up on his failed marriage and why his wife had left him despite being a good father to his 3 kids. The movie star opened up on his past marriage while speaking in a chat with Chude on his show. Iyke opened up on his failure as a husband during the interview and revealed that he had been the reason why his marriage had failed. He noted that a person can only be a mediocre if he lets his emotion overwhelm him. And each time he gets emotional, he acts like one. Now let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. The first reaction from Ogbolo, he said, accountability. I've heard Jim's story over and over, and every time I do, it's still inspiring. Every time we own up to our flaws, it's easier to grow. Looking for who to blame or pointing fingers wouldn't make you better. Take responsibility for your actions. The next reaction from Michael, and he said, at least he's owing up to his mistakes. Such a rare thing to see men of this generation do. And I totally agree. The next reaction from, I think that's from Kosi, if I'm correct. Our parents are to blame for this epidemic. We did not see any husband traits growing up, just African lions giving orders. And the final reaction from Juliet, therapy should be a part of even NYSC programs because so many people walking around broken to the core. Ruchi, how do you react?
I agree with Juliet. There's a lot of broken people out there, different levels of trauma, from childhood trauma that we don't even realize is trauma because the society has normalized it. So people say things like, yeah, nobody only you them beat for your house, or nobody only you them send make you go hawk pure water, or all that. We all did chores at home and we came out fine. You did not come out fine. You are traumatized.
True.
And you need to go and look after yourself. That's why we have a lot of people doing abnormal stuff. And you're wondering, even their parents cannot account for where it's coming from because in their head, we gave you all the home training required. However, I must also say that I'm proud of Iyke. I did not count him as somebody who would, be so open, first of all, and then own up to his own end of the mistakes that happened, because I believe that if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're in a marriage with somebody, there you played a role in however the relationship turned out. And him coming out on national internet to own up to his own end of the conversation, I am super proud of him for that. And that kind of opens him up to growth, like one of the reactions said, opens him up to a better development. He can live with himself better. I hope he gets better from there. Josh?
Yeah, the first point of maturity from an individual is you owning up to your mistakes. Whatever responsibility there may be in that particular issue, you say, yes, you contributed, in some degree of percentage. That for me is a high level of respect from me, because it's so difficult for you to see persons who want to say, yes, I contributed to this. They always want to point the fingers at the person who might, be seen in that. But for Iyke to have done that, yes. And I think he has learned his lessons, especially from the areas where he didn't do well, and hopefully he works on it. He's a human, and anything happens in relationship. And like they say, when it comes to relationships, certain things give. Perhaps in his case, he was a little bit of a manly person, thinking it's a lady that would give. But now I think he will learn from it and move on from it.
Yeah, just another day to remember that he can actually be a good father and not a good husband.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Okay, now let's move to the next story. The alleged French baby mama of renowned Nigerian singer, excuse me, David Adeleke, widely known as Davido, makes a distressing plea for help as she experiences non-stop bleeding. Ivanabe, who called out the singer for impregnating her, cries out for help following unexpected bleeding while lamenting numbness. She took to her Instagram story to share audio while making known her status as she heads for the emergency room. The French beauty queen disclosed that she woke up with intense pain in her stomach and throughout her body. Let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. The first reaction from King Diego, the blogger, and he said, "I have heard of audio money, but never in my life have I ever heard of audio pregnancy." The next reaction from retired Honorable BK. "So, she don't miscarry the belle now. What God cannot do?" One sister off the record for Davido. The final reaction from Troublemaker. "All these girls be lying. If I was Davido, I would stress her a little. You must give me my child. You openly came out to the world that I got you pregnant. And after 2 weeks, you're telling the same world you had a miscarriage. You go pay for the picky." Uche, what's your reaction? You know, it wouldn't be hard for her to say, "I lied."
But she still says she's still normal.
How
is she normal?
Like, seriously, she's bleeding, but she says she's normal.
Who is bleeding? She show us the blood. She don't show us the blood.
Yeah, let's take it from her.
No.
Alleged.
Alleged. It won't be bad for her to just say, "Well, though, I lied."
Perhaps
Because-
the pregnancy is still intact. You know?
No, it's not intact.
Really?
No, it's not. Because if it is, she would have come out to say, "Oh, I'm fine." Because she came out like, "Oh, you all that actually praying for my audio, don't allow it happen to you, blah, blah, blah," all that gaslighting nonsense. So definitely the baby is not intact.
Oh, yeah.
What am I supposed to say? First of all, there are topics that for me are very, what's the word? That I feel like you shouldn't just be playing with. Those topics for me are rape and a woman losing an unborn child. You have no idea what it is like for people who have actually experienced these situations. And if you have ever been in that shoes, you would know that it's not something you just pick up your phone and start typing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she did not, you understand? Maybe she actually, you understand? It's not in my places. I'm not in France. I don't know what her situation is. I'm just saying, women, can we just
do better?
Let's be better human beings. If
Can you carry your Josh?
Actually, yeah, this person, unlike the other lady who she did a test on live Instagram, she did too. Oh, I didn't see her own. Okay, that kind of counters what I was about to say, because at least that one is understandable. She was able to, but knowing how the test strips work, you know, that is also not a feasible, or should I say, an empirical evidence to prove anything. I wish her quick recovery. I hope that every part of your body that was torn apart heals. I hope you also find healing for your trauma. Yeah.
I mean, a Davido head catcher. Going by what that guy said, one off the records. So, like, at some point in time, we need to be matured about certain things. You just had this feeling that you were pregnant, perhaps through maybe test strips you did and all that, and it showed an indicator that you were positive. It's not enough for you to just go out there and make a whole lot of noise and later come back again and tell us you're bleeding. It makes you childish. Like she said, there are certain things that people don't take lightly. What if Davido decides to sue you? First, you came out and claimed that you're responsible for your pregnancy. And at the time he's trying to get that around his head, you're coming back to say you lost it. What happens to the name bash? What happens to his status? What happens to his reputation? Because already, what are brands that he influences say? You know, the last time I said on this platform that beyond you being a celebrity, you're a publicist. So it means that whatever you come out to say about certain brands as a celebrity is established. So you having this kind of controversy, it will tarnish your image. So coming out to tell me at some point in time that you were pregnant for me, and when I'm trying to wrap my head around it and you're coming back to say, oh, you lost it. Come on.
What if all of this is just PR?
From Davido's end?
Have you thought about it?
Oh, really?
What if these women were actually paid to do all
what
of
about
this?
the damaging effect it will have on Chioma? Did you consider that?
I think that was why he now like... Anyway, I'm thinking like a lawyer. Yeah, he joined their heads together. Remember, Ivana came out like, oh, leave the wife out of it. You don't have to. How would they look real if they don't involve Chioma?
So there's a connivance.
That's what it looks like.
That's what she thinks.
For me, that's what I think.
Well,
because
until
why would the Atlanta lady come out and say, oh, I'm not pregnant anymore. I don't need to be the father of my child. And then the other one is coming out to say she lost the baby.
And the video in question
like,
hasn't come out to
this is just PR for his store. And really, it really worked.
It did?
It did. Davido has been in everybody's mouth for the past 1 month, if I'm correct, like back to back. It's been Davido in the news. So yeah, it did. It worked.
And he hasn't come out openly
at all to say nothing.
Anyway, the truth is, social media doesn't forget, and social media doesn't sweep anything under the carpet, no matter the size of the carpet. Whatever this situation really is, one day we go all just did is scroll for Instagram. The truth to come outside.